Oh my gosh, how are you? It's been a minute since I hopped on live, but I'm so happy I finally made time to get on live and chit chat with you guys. I've definitely missed my online community both on Instagram and on YouTube, but I'm happy that, that I'm coming back more intentionally with fresh energy and love and just good vibes overall, because I feel like when you teach healing it can kind of get not just burnout but like energetically filling your own cup up so you can keep pouring into yourself and keep like high. If you don't keep pouring into yourself and keep filling up your own cup, then how are you supposed to but a few weeks break? Because I wanted to fill my own cup and take care of myself and just do fun things and just, kind of learn more lessons. Hi, good morning, Sarah. Welcome. So I wanted to like learn more lessons and be on my own journey and focus on my own journey. I think that's was because I've needed to focus on my own journey and really solidify some of the lessons that I'm learning and really kind of have those lessons take form in my mind before I could come back to my community and start teaching and start healing. And, you know, not only was this few weeks off a good break for me from like just giving, but also I was able to replenish my own energy and my own self so I could come back healthy, happy. And then I've been like, one of the practices that I've been doing on this journey is that I have been very much intentionally watching what helps me stay healed in any given moment. Because if I stay in my healed state and not get distracted by triggers, and not get distracted by I can just watch my own emotional body of how it's, even though I am healed, so to speak, my own emotional body. Oh my goodness, I have my food here, and then this fly is trying to. What the heck? So I've been intentionally watching my own emotional body and watching how it reacts, even though I'm a healed person. I've done the work, I've learned the lessons, right? And I know how to regulate myself. I've done all the somatic work. Even though I've done all the, still have to every day, look at, okay, what is triggering me, who is triggering me, how am I responding in a reactive manner. So I still would respond in a reactive manner, even though I'm watching myself. So, what I really learned from watching myself all these few weeks, just focusing on my own healing journey, was that our emotional body just really, really affects our relationships. Our emotional body affects how we grow in life. Our emotional body, the more we react to it with emotion, it drains our energy too. So because even though, my responses to life situations were like super healthy and regulated, but what I was noticing is that I was very much drained, the suppression of the emotion or the expression of the emotion or the civil, even if I'm responding to a situation in a very I would still have a huge internal response to other people's situation. So if I am responding to life scenario in a stressful manner, even though I have, regulated, and I'm able to give the most controlled civil response, and I'm able to regulate myself, then I'm able to release that energy, and I do all the work that we learn, in doing the work. Even though I do all of that, but just because I roll in the world with an emotional body entanglement, that I entangle myself emotionally with the people that I work with, or not, in a very civil manner, in that my response is not as detached as it could be. So I feel like that the more you respond, what I've learned from my journey is the more you respond to life with an emotional front, like you're very emotional right up front, and you have feelings and emotions, and you're not as detached to life, that's when you hurt. That's when you get drained. That's when life feels kind of burnt out. You start to burn out because you respond to life emotionally. That's what I've learned. So as I dropped that emotional body and started responding to everything like, oh, okay, this happened. Oh, okay, well, you shocked and surprised me with your betrayal or how you did things. Okay, but this is what happened, and this is how it happened. So when I started radically accepting things as they were coming, and I was ready for it. It wasn't like, oh, something happened and I had a big emotional response to it, and now I'm going to start the radical process of radical acceptance. No. It's I go through life. What I'm doing is that I'm going through. My food's going to get so cold. I go through life with a lot of ready radical acceptance that I'm like, okay, I know something's gonna happen. Sorry, I shouldn't talk and chew. Hold up. I'm like, I don't want to chew in your mouth, in your ears. But the more I walk through life radically accepting of how people are going to be, or how someone is going to be, or what could, just almost like being detached but also being ready to set boundaries as needed, to step back as needed, if opportunity comes, to lean in as needed. So I guess I would say that I wasn't responding and reacting with emotions as much, but I was definitely, now I'm prepared for life and present with life. I hope this is making sense to you guys. That I'm more present and available to life, and not as, at the same time, I'm detached with life. Isn't that so interesting? So, so I'm present and available to life, and I'm ready to set boundaries, or I'm ready to take up an opportunity. But at the same time, I'm detached from life, to where I'm not responding with an emotional body to everything. I hope that makes sense. No, you hear Max? Yeah. My doggy. Come here, Maxie. Come here, my baby. Aw. You're so cute. Here's Maxie. Here's my baby. Say hi, Maxie. But I think that's what I would teach to my community at this point also, that learn to respond to life with detachment and stay in that at all times. So stay ready and prepared, like they say. Stay detached, like they say. Yeah, you see him. You see this boy. You see this. Oh, sorry. Did I push your neck or something? Maxie, you was just some type of way. He just like pulled the wire out. But I know. But that's what I've learned. Like being off social media for the past few weeks. Like, as you know, Sarah, and thank you for so many messages. So many of my community members messaged me saying, hey, we miss your videos. And I missed making those videos. I missed connecting with you, Sarah, and other members, Cindy, and other people in the community. But I really needed to take time to focus on what lesson am I learning. Hi, aloha from Waikiki. Oh, that's what's up. How are you, Pesang Bukham? I hope I'm saying it right. Yeah, so I mean, not trying to explain why I was off or anything, but I really wanted to share the lessons that I learned focusing on my own healing journey away from other people's. When you're like treating a lot of clients or plugged into the community, then you're definitely not as focused on your healing or what's going on with you or how can I, grow and learn. And what I learned, you've missed me. Sarah says, I've missed you and I understand why. Yeah, it was just like I really needed to pause and turn it internal, look at my own healing and not only just to like fill up my cup. Pasang says, yeah, correct. Okay, cool. Yeah, welcome to the community. So not only did I learn that I have to fill up my own cup as I'm giving to others and helping other people heal. Of course, that I've always known that, right? And I actively try to go to the ocean or go to nature and keep filling my own cup up. But what I've learned is that if I cannot walk, with your heart first or with your inner child first, with your emotional body getting entangled up with basically, anybody and everybody and having a response to or a reaction to something, even if I respond in a very, regulated manner, it still drains me. It still affects my life force. It still burns me out. It still takes away from me. I don't know. Does that make sense to you? So, the practice of dropping the emotional body, and I have a salad too. I should put it on my plate, huh? It's so good though. So, it makes sense to you. Okay, great. Thank you for commenting that. Because sometimes when these downloads come to you, you're not really sure if it's going to be applicable to everybody, you know. But as I practice and I notice myself, then I do realize I'm no different from other human beings. What effect? Good, huh? And I put a lot of lemon on my fish actually. Like on one piece, I'll cut up the fish and then squeeze a whole bunch. I'm also a fan of tartar sauce, but then, like all the sauces are just, they can be too much. But yeah, so I think as women, we're just naturally very, very nurturing and we're emotional and we wear our heart on our sleeve and we're so like real and authentic and emotional. It drains you, it burns you out, it takes away your energy. If you have an emotional response, and I was noticing like even good emotional responses, like, even feeling good, it just like drains. What are you eating? Oh, you just had fresh mango? Me too. I had fresh mango in the afternoon. I'm eating like salmon and salad. It's quinoa, chickpeas, kale, cabbage, basically. Oh, it's so yummy. But I was missing like my people, my healing people, So I was like, I just want to come say hi and hopefully catch Sarah. I'm so happy Sarah is here. But giving everything controlled amount of, thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Backham. So giving energy and emotion and kind of not being like 100% and like emotionally invested and like just giving so much to everything. I think as women, we naturally give so much to everybody. Missing you more, Dolly. Was just about to email me. Oh my goodness. Yeah. But I'm happy you're here with me now. I think that's why I was getting this message to get on live. Go talk to your community. You've learned some lessons that you should go share now. So that's definitely a big thing for me that as I'm getting older, I have to conserve my emotional energy, my life force, my energy. What country? I know they're like look like so dry. It is. The flower is marigold. A lot of them, no, not marigold. The white, big marigold. I forgot. I'm sorry. Anyways, it'll come to me. But dang it, now I'm gonna be stuck on it. But we have a bunch of cherry trees over there that are like magnolias. Yeah, exactly. Magnolias are the flowers on the trees. That's what Sarah knows. And then we have a bunch of cherry trees over there that are like purple leaves. They're so beautiful. I'm in California. Hi to you, Pasang from California. I have a really good, like, close community member who lives in Oahu. So hopefully she'll pop up too. But one of the main things I've learned is that you have to be responsible for conserving your energy. You have to be responsible for deciding discernment how much you want to give to something, especially emotionally for women. I think we're not able to overdo physically, now I feel. My God, what is the hell? Oh, okay, sorry. So emotionally, we don't overdo it anymore. I mean, emotionally is how we overdo it now. And then that leads to burnout, that leads to us ignoring and neglecting. And codependents are so used to neglecting their own inner child. We just rush around to fulfill everybody else's like needs and demands and obligations, but we don't take such good care of our own self. And that's like one of the main things I'm learning, that I'm even though I'm healed, but those people pleasing tendencies and not being able to say no when I need to can really get me in trouble. But then also having judging other people or even observing other people and then responding to them emotionally drains my life force. You have dragon fruit and honey banana in my backyard. Oh, that's what's up. Very cool. Honey banana. Is it like a specific kind of banana? Honey banana? I mean, I'm sure, yeah, there's probably different types of bananas. Honey banana is probably one of them. I'm trying to think if I've ever had it. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. And then I practice like dropping that emotional body and just staying detached. Knowing, like before, I would just hopelessly just try and try and try with people. But now I'm like detached and almost like expecting that, oh, the person's gonna respond and react. They're gonna continue their patterns. Like, I think I've finally come to that realization that people are gonna continue their patterns. They're gonna be who they are and they're gonna show you who they are each and every time. So I don't have a emotional response, like a huge emotional response to it every single time anymore, you know? Because that's what's like, so you kind of have to become a little bit selfish, I feel. Not selfish, but self protectant. Like, protect yourself by prioritizing yourself. Because why you gotta just be so bothered about other people's why you gotta have a response and a reaction to like other people's behavior or choices or self-preservation. Yeah. Yeah. We have to self-preserve. That's right. Honey banana is small, yellow, very sweet. Oh, okay. Self-preservation. Yeah, that's what it is all about, right? Like, how long are we gonna keep responding to other people's, you know, somebody did something wrong, then you have a whole response to it emotionally, even though you respond in a regulated, civilized manner, but you still gotta like go through that whole, release the energy, radical self-acceptance, and all of that. And then I wanted to talk about forgiveness, right? So forgiveness is kind of like almost in your own best interest to accept people like for the way they are. Who eats? Do you guys eat salmon skin? What the heck? It's like loud ass music. Do you guys eat salmon skin? Is it gross to eat salmon skin? I like it so much. It's like super chewy. Yeah, it is good, but then the skin of it, not usually. I know. Why don't people eat it? I know most people don't like it. They don't eat it. But why is that? Is it like considered dirty or something, or is it people don't like the taste? But whoa, I can't believe how loud this music is. That is so wrong. You do eat it sometimes. But people who don't eat it, why do you guys not eat salmon skin? I don't know. Salad is pretty good too. I think the secret to eating kale is literally you have to chop it like super super fine, and then you have to like kind of almost like marinate it so it gets soft in like something. I usually just like put a little drizzle of oil and vinegar and just kind of leave it. Bro, I can't believe how loud this music is. I'm like, sir, I don't think this is the first time I've heard music this loud. But anyways, we live in a peaceful area. Like people are, ugh. Anyways, bro. Anyways, it's Friday. Not everyone is trying to do their healing work. Some people are trying to have fun. But and then forgiveness kind of goes in the same way. Once you understand this is not in my control, this is none of my business, it doesn't bring me closer to my goals, and I have nothing to do with this. That's like the first kind of, that's the first step in your healing. Oh my god, this music is so loud. What kind of dressing do you put in your salad? Just like a drizzle of ranch, a drizzle of honey, and the kale already has marinated in a little drizzle of vinegar and a drizzle of oil. So it's just, I'm not a big dressing person. And almonds, it has like silvered almonds. And anyways, so just like radically accepting that you have to compromise in life. Perfection doesn't really exist. You have to accept people where they are, how they are, who they are. People rarely change for other people. Most human beings are imperfect, and you have to love them anyway. You are imperfect too, and you have to love yourself anyway. Delicious. Thank you. Like, this whole, like, the whole internet is talking about this one influencer who was all about love and self love, and she seemingly had a perfect marriage, and then suddenly the guy cheated on her. Right? It's kind of like holding somebody to a standard. You're looking well. Oh, thank you. It's kind of like holding someone to a standard of, why I'm looking so well, like I look decent, is because I stopped responding emotionally to everything. Otherwise, people's thoughtlessness, their rudeness, or their selfishness. I used to grieve so much humanity. I used to grieve, like this music would just irritate me. Yeah, I used to grieve so much of just human beings being sorry, being rude. I'm not really working out that much though, but I think it's just the emotional change. I used to just be so sad that somebody is rude, even though they've been rude multiple times. Oh yeah. Yep, I'm in Cali. You were just scrolling to find people living in California. Thank you. That's so awesome, right? But Hawaii is so beautiful too, right? Hawaii is like stunning. Hawaii is just like carefully designed by God. California is really pretty too. I feel super blessed, so grateful. But now I I don't grieve human being betraying. I don't grieve human being being selfish or cruel or rude. I accept it. And many times I expect their behavior to be what it has been. If a friend or a partner or a colleague has this pattern of just being rude or obnoxious or picking fights, some people just pick fights because they just are not used to experiencing the calm and the happiness. Some people reject love because they're used to struggle love, that they're used to struggling in relationship, so they'll reject a calm relationship, or they'll reject somebody who loves them because they're not able to trust that they're worthy of love. you know it's kind of like crazy how people sabotage themselves, like how I sabotaged. Like I spend so much of my time just grieving. For before healing, I used to be resentful. I'd be like, oh my god, I can't believe this person is so rude. I cannot believe they're so thoughtless. I cannot believe so selfish. I cannot believe such a cheater. I cannot believe, right? All these different different like behaviors that are probably like coping or whatever, right? Bad behaviors of other people. I would grieve. I would emotionally respond to them, and I would spend so much of my time and energy and effort just grieving or being resentful, or or doing the whole process of doing the work of releasing. But now I just live in radical acceptance. I think that's the main thing. If somebody has shown me that they are a cheater, they're going to be a cheater. If somebody has shown me that they are rude, they're going to be rude. Then it's up to me. Then my boundaries come in. Do I want to walk away now? Do I want to walk away later? Do I want to, accept this as a part of their personality because this relationship is important to me, or I cannot, like sometimes you cannot walk away from a certain relationship, and that person will not change. So, do you choose and focus to just only look at the positive and then radically accept? I mean, of course, if there's abuse involved and all that, then you don't accept. You never accept emotional, physical, sexual, spiritual, mental, emotional abuse, financial abuse, emotional abuse. You don't accept abuse, but you don't respond super emotionally to everything. That's what women do, and that's what really hurts them in the long run. We lose our life force responding to other people, reacting to their deficiencies. Oh, that's so cool. That's very cool, actually. You're going to go to San Diego in July and then ride Amtrak all the way the coast to your last stop in Washington. That sounds great. That sounds amazing. Oh my god. I'm sure you'll have a great time. That sounds so fun. Do it. You should do it. Travel is so fun. And travel is really cool because it gives you new nervous system states to anchor into. You can reinvent, you can shift timelines. And I recently feel like I shifted a timeline. Like it's almost like when you shift a timeline, what it feels like is that the problems that you were so coded into, they just like evaporate and you're just like in this next timeline doing the next thing, and everything kind of falls in place for you to evolve, do the next best thing or whatever you wanted to do and be how you wanted to be. Like it's kind of weird, like, but I'm believing more and more in the planets and horoscopes and astrology, and literally like when they were all like the whole internet was talking about, oh, the planets are shifting. That's when I felt like I jumped timeline, and my life kind of rearranged on its own around that, and my interest changed and my focus changed and my fixation with like, oh, someone is you know not doing something right, whatever, it's like change. It's hard to explain, but I'm gonna think about it and maybe try to put it into words. But it was trippy. No, I have not. I have not. But anyways, what else? Oh yeah, forgiveness. You seem settled in yourself. Oh my god, yeah, exactly. I think I definitely feel that way. I'm not like restless or upset or needing validation or grieving or I'm not scared. I'm not ashamed. It's kind of like the next level of doing the work. Like you're good, and you're not as emotionally reactive and not as emotionally, like, I think that was my main thing. Like the inner child of mine would never want to leave somebody, would always want to change or help or fix or you know but then now I feel like I, it just like doesn't bother me. Like if someone is the way they are, they're meant to be there, they're meant to be that person, they're meant to be on that journey, you know and then if someone's rude to me, of course I set boundaries and I'm like, but in Santa Ana, yeah, fairly close. Yeah. So it's kind of cool. And I want to like touch base on forgiveness a little bit more, because forgiveness means taking your power back. Forgiveness means saying to yourself, yes, they did me wrong. Yes, I have to feel my feelings. Yes, this sucks. This hurts. This is so difficult for me to accept. Yes, they didn't turn out to be right. Yes, they cheated. Yes, they betrayed me. They lied, right? So, forgiveness means that, bro, this music is too loud. These people are, what are they doing? Yeah, that's why I kind of maybe wanted to talk about it. It's kind of interesting, like, whatever you're going through, or get like a message to teach that lesson. Yeah, good timing, right? Yeah. So forgiveness is basically, yes, you have to start the process by feeling your feelings, by feeling the pain, by cussing out in the letters, and or like in a safe space, just getting angry, release that feeling, feel that feeling, cry, feel sorry for yourself, feel bad for yourself. Do all those things that you need to do in order to just really get close to, you have to almost like hug your pain, feel your pain, just really like be one with your pain, sit with your pain, like just feel sorry for yourself. And that's compassion too, right? Like you feel really like, oh my god, what happened to me? How could somebody do this to me? How dare this happen, right? So that's definitely compassion for yours. Feel the compassion, feel your feelings, feel the anger, feel how, yeah, feel how somebody wronged you, feel sorry for yourself, right? All of that. Then once you have written the journals, cried out, when there's no more tears to cry, even sometimes, right? Then you start to search for, how do I take my power back? By learning the lesson that this person taught me, how do I make sure that nobody is ever able to do this to me again? What lesson did this person, no matter how cruel they were, no matter how cruel they were, no matter how mean they were, how they cheated, how they like were hurtful to you, didn't, lied to you, whatever they did to you, you have to figure out, how do I take my power back? By getting something from it. Make it contribute something to you. Make it mean something in your life story. Not that, oh yeah, I got scammed, my heart got broken, yeah, they took advantage of me. Yes, say all those things, feel sorry for yourself, feel bad, feel the pain, sit with the pain, hug the pain, hold the pain, right? Do what you need to do with the pain or for the pain. But then you have to say, hey, how the F do I take my power back? What did I get? What did I, and how do you take your power back? By saying, what did I get out of this? What did I get out of this? What did I learn? Because for me, I feel like life's wisdom is the biggest thing. Like, what did I learn from this? What did I get out of it? How will I, some people, that's why some of the women say, if a man cheated, get money out of it, right? So that's their way of saying, get something out of it, so you don't feel like you got scammed. I mean, even if you hurt and everything, you got something out of it. So some women would say, get money out of it, right? That's what like, for example, people whose marriages end, they will. Oh, by the way, my summer break started, Sarah, so I'm gonna be doing a lot more lives. So I'd be happy to, chit chat with you and all the other members of the community. But what did you get out of it? So a lot of like women influencers are teaching that, oh, make sure you get money out of it if somebody hurts you. But that's a way to take your power back. But other ways to get your power back is, what lesson did I learn? Yeah, I'm happy to connect with you too. Sarah says, oh, lovely. That's great news. So, how do I get my power back? How do I get you know, my mojo back? What do I get out of it? What did I learn? Was there any good habits in that narcissist that I could apply to myself? Even though their selfishness and self-centeredness was to an extreme, but do I need to learn? Do I need to learn a little bit of selfishness and a little bit of self-centeredness? You know, yeah, the narcissist was, never prioritized me, but can I learn how he or she prioritized themselves all the time? How they kept the focus on themselves all the time? You know, the ultimate, that's the way to live freely, you know. Back, Backham says, I always forgive people who have done me wrong. My dog is bugging. He's like, I know what's happening. What's happening, Maxie? What's going on? You want some fish? No, I give him like non-salted, unsalted. But yeah. So what did I get out of it? What lesson did I learn? What did I overcome? How did this benefit me? Once you're able to phrase that narrative in a way that says that yes, I was hurt or beat down in this relationship or in this situation, but I learned from it, I gained from it, I took my power back, and now I'm better, bolder, evolved. So, for some people, the lesson is that they had this karmic cycle to close, that they've had women who always got cheated on, and they accepted and accepted. Finally, in this generation, the woman is like, nope, if you treat me bad, I'm out, right? That's the lesson, that's the gain, that's what you did for your generation. And then you learn, who's a narcissist, and like, how do I not? So you learn something from it, you gain something from it, and that's how you take your power back. So if you gain something, you know, from the situation, like a lot of women say, ask for money, gain money from the situation. If a man has done you wrong, for sure, do that. But more deeper wealth is, what did I learn from this experience? How can I apply it for future growth and for evolution of mine? And then how not to repeat the mistake? Yeah, you're right, exactly. And how do I not repeat this mistake again? That is exactly right. So, forgiveness really is taking your power back by saying, yes, you did me wrong, but look, this is what I learned. This is how I grew. This is what I've become. This is my wealth, my evolution, my growth, and nobody can take that from you, not even the narcissist. So that's how you really forgive yourself, forgive others also. You let go of the power and control that a narcissist has on you when you've learned from it and you're not ready to repeat that mistake ever again. Right? So thank you for hanging out with me. I'm going to be going live more and chatting with you guys more. And this was beautiful. Thank you. Love you, Sarah. Catch you soon. Bye. Or should I repeat the process of forgiveness? I think you guys understood, right? You are so welcome, Sarah. Okay, so process of forgiveness is, you feel your feelings, you look at the situation for what it is, you feel your feelings, you give yourself deep self-compassion, self-care, self-love. Once you've felt your feelings, given yourself compassion, then you begin the journey of radical acceptance of who this person was, why they came into your life to teach you what they taught you. And then you take something from that experience. You take a lesson back, you take the wisdom back, you take acceptance back, you take back knowledge of how to break the generational curse of having a narcissist in your life, how to recover from a narcissist, how to not be a codependent, how to not raise codependent children, how to not be codependent in your situation, how to really take your power back so deep that you can not only preserve yourself, you can thrive, you can focus on yourself, you can prioritize, choose yourself, benefit yourself. So forgiveness really is self empowerment. By going through the process of forgiveness, you empower yourself. And that is my hope, wish, and prayer for all of you all from my community, to just settle into yourself, drop that emotional body, walk through the world in a mature, detached manner. Give things time to just fall into place on their own many times, and then accept things for as is, and don't be shocked every single time when people behave the same way, repeat the same patterns. All right, love you all. See you hopefully tomorrow. Okay, bye.